Hey guys, it's Libby, and today I have a review of God Help the Child by Toni Morrison. I believe this was Toni Morrison's most recent book. It was published last year in 2015, but of course she has a long record of writing, and this is the first book that I had read by her, and it definitely makes me want to read more. I will say I started with this book by Morrison because I know that a lot of her books have a lot of child abuse, and I thought this one wouldn't have so much. I was wrong. There is not a small amount of child abuse, sexual and psychological, so be aware of that if you're not comfortable with it. I think maybe Sula is the one that doesn't have so much child abuse. If you've read Sula and it's not relentlessly depressing, let me know. Also, I'm just going to say, The Bluest Eye, I'm not going to read that, guys. That is not happening. I like Toni Morrison's writing, but I am not going to read that. So this story is told mainly in a linear fashion, but we occasionally hop around. Our main character, or sort of focal character, is a woman called Bride. That is the name that she gives herself, not the one that she's born with. She's born with the name Lula Ann, which she does not particularly care for. And she has very dark colored skin. Her mother is also African American, but she has a lighter black skin. And her mother basically never loves her because she wanted to have a pretty light-skinned child. She justifies this by saying that the world is harder on dark-skinned blacks than light-skinned blacks, so, you know, I need to toughen her up so that she won't get battered about by the world. And we do hear that in her own voice, but I think a lot of it is just sort of revenge. After Lula Ann Bride was born, her father left her and her mother because he thought her mother was having an affair with someone who was darker skinned, because no one in either of their families was dark skinned. And then her mother, of course, has a difficult time raising a kid on her own as a single black mom. And so this loveless childhood makes Bride do a really bad thing. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but she messes up big time because she thinks it will make her mother love her. And it does make her mother love her, honestly. And so this story, we get it from multiple perspectives, including third person, and it's mainly about the aftermath 10 years later, about how this thing that Bride has done affects her job, her relationship with her boyfriend, her relationship with her friends, her relationship with strangers, her relationship with the person she did this to. And there's also a little thread of magical realism woven in there. This is mainly like your standard modern day literary fiction, but there is a bit of like, is this just a metaphor, or is this a metaphor made real? In which case it's magical realism. It's still very accessible, unlike a lot of magical realism. If you've ever read any Gabriel Garcia Marquez, you know the feeling of like, what? So if you sort of want to dip your toe into magical realism, but like you're scared of Isabel Allende or Gabriel Garcia Marquez, here's an option for you. And also, I gave this a 4 stars, relatively high 4 stars. If I could do like 4 1/4, that's what I would give this. The plot wasn't like the greatest thing that I've ever read. It was certainly engaging enough, but on like a sentence level, the writing is so good. It's obvious that Toni Morrison has been doing this for a long time. She has honed her craft. She knows how to construct a paragraph. Her writing is like the most natural sounding writing that I have perhaps ever read. And I was thinking about it, I was like, you know, it shouldn't be so hard to write the way that you would talk in a completely like seamless, like almost unobtrusive way. It just sort of floats you along. But apparently it is, because I was completely blown away by the words. So if you can handle the topic of child abuse and you're interested in stories about race in America, particularly modern day America, this is an excellent place to start. I highly recommend it.